Oh, got it. Got it. Oh, that's a good brim. Oh, that's a trev. Oh. I'm out today trying to redeem myself. If you don't know what happened last weekend, I went out and it was an absolute shocker. We went out and spent hours on the river and we caught absolutely nothing. So today we've come out to a different spot on the same river system. The main target species for today is flathead. We've come out here to the Parramatta River. It is currently dead low tide. If we do get bycatch, I'm not going to complain at all. Trevally, brim, whatever it is, I'm not going to complain. The outfit of choice today is the TD Black Wicked Weasel. I used this setup last week and I had an absolute shocker with it. And the issue I had last week with it is I kept getting wind knots, and I think I've figured out the issue. Look, I didn't work it out on my own. I put the question out there last week and a couple of you have responded saying maybe it's one of your spacers, those little washers that you put inside your reel. I've removed one of the line spacers and hopefully that makes a bit of a difference. We'll give it a go today. I've gone with a new Bait Junkie 3-inch prawn in the new core injection colors. So we're going to give that a go, and hopefully with that 1/8 jig head we can get a bit of distance out there. So let's get out there and hopefully catch some fish today. As you can see in front of me, I am starting off at this bridge here. There is a lot of oysters at my feet, so it is going to be a bit snaggy, and I'm going to have to keep an eye out for boats that come in with all the waves and stuff because I've got a tripod and I'm kind of stuck down this little area here where there's a bit of a wall behind me and I had to climb down to get it. Like I said, 1/8 jig head on a 3-inch prawn, and hopefully we can get it close enough to that bridge. I've got so much camera gear connected to me and I've got a backpack on my back, so it's going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to navigate and be a bit agile, so we'll give it a go. Running in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cast to the right hand side and let our lure drift to the left. All right, let's go. Hopefully no snags and plenty of fish and no wind knots. So far so good. Very shallow though. My jig head's hitting the bottom straight away, which isn't such a bad thing if we are targeting flathead. We just got to watch out for these oysters because I'm guessing they go out a fair bit. But if I can get it... Oh no, very snaggy. Very snaggy. We need to get it a bit closer to the bridge somehow. Probably would have been better to use a blade here. I need to walk out a bit, but I'm just hoping that the camera can catch it. The water's still very cold. Oh, extremely cold. I've chosen to go with that 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, the Daiwa X-Link. The reason why I went 8-pound is just to give myself that chance to catch some brim as well. The main goal for today is to catch fish. That's the main goal. Because of that shocker we had last week, I just honestly want to catch a fish. I know how hard it is land-based, especially this time of year. We're only a couple of weeks into spring. A blade would be absolutely fantastic here. I've got blades in my bag at the moment, but today I'm not carrying the guide hip pack. It would have been probably ideal, but with all my camera gear and all this traveling that I'm doing, I thought I'd bring a bag, especially because of my lunch and my water bottle and stuff. So I did have to bring a bag and not a hip pack. Yeah, I've got a bit of a hip pack here, but you're not going to fit everything in there. But as we come into summer, when that water hits that 20-21 degrees and the fish come on top water, mate, that's going to be exciting. I just need to get probably about a meter out, a little bit further to the bridge, and I think that's going to give us our best chance to catch a fish. I'm not too far from it. I don't know if you can see when I cast. I am not too far from it at all. Now before I catch a fish today, which I am pretty confident that I am going to catch one, God willing, before I do catch one, I want you to put it down in the comments. What species do you think I'm going to catch first? It could be anything. It could be brim, it could be flounder, it could be tailor, it could be salmon, it could be trevally. That was a bite. Put it down in the comments. What do you think the first species is going to be? I'm calling flathead. And we've got a couple of young fellas on my right hand side fishing as well. They've watched my channel and it's quite exciting to see, you know, going out to fishing spots now and seeing people that recognize me. It feels very surreal and overwhelming, but honestly I love when you guys come up to me and say hello. I'm friendly, I don't bite. If you ever see me out there, come say hello. I've got all the time in the world for a chat. I know I might look scary, but I'm not. As the tide starts coming up, we're gonna go and work the edge all the way along back to the car. I'm telling you, I've walked at least a couple of kilometers, so we've got so much area to fish. The reason why I didn't go and start off on the edge and work my way here is because it's just way too shallow and the oysters are all exposed. But this tide's coming up real quick, so I'm gonna have to go and walk up soon and start fishing that edge before I get stuck down here, because there's gonna be no way back up. We're gonna go and try that rock wall, which is more downstream. We'll try the whole wall and then we'll start working our way all the way back to where the car is, which is a couple of kilometers upstream into this little bay. I think we just hit the jackpot, ladies and gentlemen. Land-based marina. Oh, how sick is this? We love structure. For safety, no fishing in the marina. I'm not gonna go in the marina, I'll fish from here. Very accessible from here. Let's set up this camera and then we'll start fishing this marina. Hopefully we've got a bit of depth here. I can see it's probably about 1 meter deep right at my feet. Then it gets a bit deeper. I really want to take this bag off, it's getting a bit heavy, but we'll put up with it for now. May have been a bit better with a lighter lure. Oh no, first cast snagged. We went right over the top. Can't believe it. How crap is that? How amateurish is that? We're gonna have to take our bag off now. Not a good start at all. Got the exact same prawn rigged onto a 1/8 jig head, so I'm just gonna go with that and take the lazy option. But now that we've got our bag off, let's leave it off for now. Leave our camera here and rig on this prawn. Same color, core injection, nipper UV. But if we lose this one, and that's when I'm gonna have to go a lighter lure. The reason why I didn't go too light is because I still want to get some distance. I'm not gonna be fishing here for long. I'm gonna try out the face of this marina and then I'm gonna go and walk on. We just had a bit of a breeze while I was casting and I just got snagged again. We got it out. We gotta get our casts on point here, and then we might put ourselves in a good position to catch a fish. Like that, like that. Now we're just gonna let it sink. I'm not sure how deep it is. Well, that was a good cast. Try casting out this way. But we're getting pretty close to the structure, which is so good. If there's gonna be fish, they're gonna be hard up on the structure. Then we've got a bit of a section on the other side of this little bridge thing here, this little walkway onto the marina where we can fish as well. You know where I wanna try? I'm gonna try casting parallel there. I'll bring the camera across. Just to the edge here, the corner. The wind's blowing into it, so it's just gonna be a little bit tough to get a good cast. But we can try. Not gonna be too bad. Right, let's let it sink. We'll let it get all the way down to the bottom and we'll work it all the way back. That way doesn't seem to be as snaggy here as the spot underneath the bridge, so that way we're just covering a lot of water. A 1/8 of an ounce has taken its time to get down to the bottom next to the marina. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. That was a good cast. Very happy with that. Oh, I just got a bite. Just got a bite. We've got to be ready for it. It was just a small tick, but still, we're gonna move. We could always fish this area again. See, plans always change during the day. You might plan something first thing in the morning and then end up doing something totally different. It doesn't matter. Nothing wrong with exploring. That might be the way to go today, is just explore and hopefully come across some sort of feeding frenzy. Let's try to cast it close to the pontoon there while the wind's down. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad considering it's running in. can hear the magpies. Hopefully we don't get attacked today. But if we get swooped and I'm recording, it's actually going to be quite funny for you, not for me. Magpie season. Even those other birds, what do you call them? The plover birds. Oh, mate. They've had babies in front of my work. And anyone that walks past the work's getting swooped, especially animals. People walking past with their dogs and they're getting swooped left, right and center. Fish on. Fish on. That's our first fish and it's a tailor. It's a stinking tailor. Well, that's our donut saver there. Little stinking tailor. Little stinky tailor. They love to leave scales everywhere too, don't they? You damaged your lure? No, you didn't. The beauty of the Bait Junkie lures. Bait Junkie soft plastics is made from a very stretchy yet very durable material, and that's what I really like about them. Good cast. Let's see if there's any brim sitting underneath that yacht. Oh, what is that? That's Taylor. It's gotta be. That has to be Taylor, yeah. It's just gonna be Taylor Frenzy today. That's our second Taylor for the day. Can we get you back in the water without touching you slimy little fish? There you go. Lure still intact, not a problem at all. Hopefully some other species today, eh? We broke the donut. Now we don't want to spend all day catching tailor. And I'm actually very surprised because they're only small tailor. And I'm feeling it right through to the butt and it's feeling like a big thump. The sensitivity in this blank is unreal. I'm actually liking it so far and I can't wait to catch a good fish on this because it's got a lot more bottom end power than my finesse rods. So it's going to be quite good when I land myself like a decent flathead or a jewie or something on this outfit. Morning. No way, is that Anthony? What a coincidence, man. It's deja vu. How are you, bro? I've got a couple Taylor. What about yourself? Good to see you, mate.
I'm trapping there though. Must be fish.
Yeah?
Yeah, he stopped there.
Wonder who that is. He's obviously pre-fishing for the tournament. I think Anthony saw a brim. Brim? Really? Oh, bro, massive brim. Massive brim. Massive brim. Massive. Where did it go? That was massive. 40 plus easy. That was huge. Oh, got it. Got it. Oh, that's a good brim. Oh, that's a Trev. Oh, that's fish on. I've got a good Trev. That's unreal. What a take. What a take. Did you see that? I've got a bit of seaweed on my line there. He's up against the rocks. Oh, he's trying to get me. Trying to get me. Good trevally. On the Daiwa 3-inch prawn. He's trying to get me on these oysters. Let's see if we can. Yeah. How good is that? Ah, she's going back for a swim, mate. There she is, little Trev on the 3-inch prawn, core injection by Bait Junkie in the Nipper UV colour. That was epic. Right up against the edge, I saw the fish come up and take my lure. Took me for a bit of a ride there around the rocks and the oysters. We'll get a couple of snaps of this fish and we'll get her back. She's still pretty lively, so she should kick away. Quite healthy. Let's go. Yes! How good is that? How good.
Well done.
Thank you.
What's a cat?
It was a trevally, silver trevally.
Oh, how big was it?
We didn't measure it because it wasn't a giant. Always good to get one, especially when you're fishing off the land. It's
That's
quite
gives you a
hard.
buzz anyways.
Definitely, yeah.
Catching something
Oh, that's got a hook there, little fella.
Oh, wow.
That's got a hook there.
That is good. Hachi, hachi. Yeah, he'll-
Yeah, there's a hook in that, so yeah, just to be careful there. Alright, that was fun. We just landed a silver trevally around these oysters and rocks here. It took it like a steam train. It wasn't even that big, but it was just good fun. And luckily, this outfit's got a bit of backbone to the bottom end, so that way I could put the brakes on the fish and really pull it in. But if I was using a really light finesse rod, I don't know if I could have even lifted it over the edge here. But nonetheless, really fun. We've moved further down this little concrete ledge just to give it a go. But the further into this bay we work, the more shallow it's going to be. So this is probably going to be the deepest spot that we're going to fish today. Couldn't tell you how deep it is. However, it's deep enough for a 1/8 of an ounce lure to take probably about 5 or 6 seconds to get down to the bottom. And I've got a feeling once we go to the shallow area, that's where we're going to start catching some flathead. Which I hope. That's what we want. That's a target species for today. But this deeper spot here, I'm not sure what the bottom's like. However, I'm pretty sure it's sandy with a bit of rock and oysters, which is attracting species like tailor, trevally, brim. We saw a couple of brim earlier on and they were massive. There was a couple of bass boats, and what came to mind straight away, I know they're pre-fishing a tournament here because I've actually got a tournament next weekend right here on Sydney Harbour. And what they did was they went and fished the boats, they went and fished the marinas, they went and fished the bridge, but they did not come and fish this edge. The transition into spring is well and truly on the way, because seeing brim in a couple meters, not even a couple of meters of water right in close, is a good sign that these fish are going to start feeding on the surface very soon. You have to work every single spot. If you come to a bay and you don't catch anything off the boats, you don't catch anything off the marina, you don't catch anything off the bridge, you don't let it go. You need to work every single area, and it starts to form a bit of a pattern where you start to realize, okay, the tide's rising, the brim are feeding on the edge. For what reason? Obviously the oysters are on this wall here in front of me, like I've mentioned, and the brim just want to feed, but they're just very skittish. You stand there on the edge and they're looking up feeding, which is another thing that I kept in mind. They're actually looking up to feed, which is something I don't think they do in winter. In summer, the fish are looking up, they've got their eyes up, and that's why when your lure hits the water, especially a topwater lure, they hit it because they're looking up to feed and they're higher in that water column. Another theory, I don't know if it's 100% accurate. However, the shallow water this time of year, because it is cold out towards the middle and the deeper water, once you come here to the shallow water, the sun's obviously hitting it and warming it up. So the fish could be just coming here to the edge just to warm up, come to that warmer water and feed.